Hello, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. We have another teaser, or I believe trailer reaction. Sorry, what am I doing? Anyway, we have a trailer reaction for you today. Something that's been pretty anticipated, I think. Dune Part 2. We're getting more Zendaya, we're getting Austin Butler, Florence Pugh, obviously Timothée Chalamet. I hope this does well. I thought the first one was okay, but they also threw around a lot of terms that I didn't understand. So I feel like I need to rewatch it again, but with subtitles. And then also, some people mumbled and I was like, what are they saying? The visuals were really cool and I think the people acted well. I just was a little lost. I never watched the, was it 1984 movie? Maybe I should watch that. I don't know. I heard it's kind of bad. I know there's also a book, but then I heard that's a chunky book and I'm just not a reader like I used to be. So let's see how this goes.
It's breathtaking. When you see sand here, imagine water. If you dive in, you can't reach the bottom.
You dive in.
Yes, it's called swimming.
I don't believe you.
Oh, I'm excited to see their chemistry.
In the shadows of Arrakis lie many secrets. But the darkest of them all may remain.
Beyond fear.
The end of House Atreides.
My father didn't believe in revenge.
Rebecca. Fury will rise. Ooh, I like the bongos.
What if Paul Atreides were still alive?
Hello, Austin. I miss your hair. The drama.
Have you ever had a dream about your first ride?
Ooh, this is to... so we can ride the worms!
Don't try to impress anyone.
Is that Javier Bardem? Hey, I saw you in Little Mermaid. Hi.
You're brave, we all know that. Be simple. Be direct.
What's the point of riding them? Is it just to get across places faster? It just seems too risky. Oh. Timothy. Oh god, did you hook onto a worm? Or did you hook onto a rock?
See, I understand. Nothing fancy.
I'm assuming that's a little fancy. Wow, it's like he's riding on rocks. It's actually the worm. It kind of sucks that they're not showing the full thing. Oh, I'm excited for those dragonfly things again.
Never lose people, Atreides.
Why are they romantic? What's with the visions? Ooh, that moon was cool.
We gave them something to hope for.
That's not hope!
Ooh, good delivery.
May thy knife chip and shatter.
Wow, he really is becoming like the champion of the planet. Interesting. I'm glad Josh Brolin's coming back. I liked his role. I think it looked pretty good. I don't think they gave enough away. I don't really get the romance that they have. Because they just like had these visions and I don't really understand why. That's also part of my confusion with the first movie. So I don't know. I think like I want to buy into it. I just don't understand why they have that connection with each other yet. If that makes sense. All right, let's watch it again. It's cute that they're talking about swimming and she's like, I don't even... That's so foreign to me. I'm like, that's really cute. It is kind of like an out of water world for Timothy's character, and then for Zendaya's character to just hear that, it's like, that sounds so strange. It's cute. Is there like no water on this planet at all? That's crazy. That like it doesn't even have like a pond. I guess it's all just sand. It's all just spice. It's spicy. This is interesting to see this like little cocoon that she's in. I believe that's Rebecca Ferguson's character. She was like a prophet. Weren't they working on like the Daughters of something Dune TV series? I don't know if that's going anywhere still. It's gonna be a Max series, I believe. I don't know if that's still in development. I believe that's Rebecca Ferguson. Her eyes look so different with this really bright blue spice infused look. It almost looks like Elizabeth Olsen, but I don't believe she's in this. I like her headdress. I feel like people were kind of shitting on Florence Pugh's look because they didn't like her little like headpiece that they had. I think she looks really elegant. She looks pretty, I think she's supposed to be playing a princess role or like some sort of like ambassador title. So I think she's playing it off well. I like that she's kind of like talking to like a little recorder. Sorry. Oh god, is this all the bodies of like people they've killed? Like people who have like been on this planet and Jesus. What is this, the Holocaust? Like, fuck off. That's really fucked. Oh no, they're getting rid of all the Atreides stuff, maybe. He may not have believed in revenge, but that might be something I need to take up on. I mean, it's kind of hard to be the bigger person when your family has been targeted and then the people that you're coming to love have also been targeted. Like, I don't know if that's Timothy's character or if that's Austin Butler's. I think Austin Butler is gonna be like the final, like, fight. Kind of like, he's not like the boss character, but he's like the one who would be of equal match, I think, to Timothy Chalamet's character, which I'm intrigued. People were giving her shit for this, but I think it's kind of nice. It looks like really daintily beaded. I think it's nice. I'm assuming, is she worried about Paul, who's Timothy Chalamet's character, I believe? Is she worried about him being alive because her and her family are gonna take over what the Atreides family was doing, which I don't really know. They were kind of being like ambassadors and rulers of the Spice Planet on behalf of another big government, and then I think there was a coup, but there was also I don't know. It's really complicated, and it's been a hot minute. I love seeing Josh Brolin again. I think he played a nice mentor character. I don't get what's going on with the black and white filming. Is there a planet where you just go black and white? I don't really get it. I know there's kind of like the people who I think have like a different religion, or they're like extremists who are bald, like I believe Stellan Skarsgård's group, which I think he's a part of. They were like really pale and donned black clothing, but I don't get why it's like legitimately black and white this time around. I don't believe we had that in the first film. I don't know what that means. This is really pretty. Oh my god, this looks like New York when we had those crazy winds coming down from Canada because of the fire. It was a weird day. So I believe that's Dave Bautista, I think. And then the other guy is Stellan Skarsgård. And I think he floats. I don't get why he floats. I don't know what his deal was. I don't know what they're trying. I guess they're trying to take down these bases so they can stop stealing the spice and like hurting the people on this planet. And I get it. She looks fantastic. Isn't she? She was the Bond girl. She was the French girl, wasn't she? From No Time to Die? She looks really nice here. I don't know if she's one of like the daughters like Rebecca Ferguson's character, because she's not as veiled and she doesn't have any like tattooing. But I've been wondering what her role is. I don't know if she's also a villain. I think she has a scene with Austin, so maybe they're related. I don't know what they're doing with the fingers. That looked a little scary. You know how you have those movies where like you have to reach in and get the thing, and then it's like, I always think back to like a Supernatural episode where I think Dean had to do that and he got like a little itty bitty prick and then he's like, ah! And then obviously National Treasure, the sequel, made fun of that where Nicolas Cage was like, ah, God, it's hurting. And then I'm like, I'm just kidding. And his parents were really mad. So I don't know what's going on here. I guess they had the technology to create tunnels and that's how they traverse through the planet. That seems really complicated. This looks really weird. Is that like liquefied spice? Also, can you see out of this? You almost look like a lizard with those eyes, or like a chameleon. This lighting's really cool. I don't know who that is. I don't know if that's Austin Butler's character, or if maybe that's Josh Brolin after he survived. Again, why is this black and white? Why are your teeth black? Where are we? I don't really like this bald cap on you. It's such a different look for Austin, and he also had to like, it looks like, I don't know if they glued down his eyebrows or if he legitimately shaved his eyebrows off. But it's a very different look. And there's Rebecca Ferguson. I don't know why her nose is bleeding. I know you need to wear like the nose thing to, I think, breathe on the planet for whatever reason. Or I don't know if that's like how you ingest spice. I can't remember. But I wonder if like her thing got ripped out or if she's just having a nosebleed because maybe she like OD'd. Can you OD on the spice in this universe? I don't know. Denis Villeneuve. This is interesting. Like, they're awakening the worms to then ride them. Again, it's a cool visual. Someone's on a worm. They use the hooks. It's cool. Why? Is it just to prove that they can? Is it like a rite of passage? Is it to traverse the planet more? Because I'm pretty sure you can't direct where the worms are going. They're a little too big for that. You sort of just hop on, and I think you just hope for the best. They point you in a direction. But they make it seem like it's like a rite of passage. Like, oh, have you had your first dream yet about it? I don't know. And I'm assuming, because I think the worms are really sensitive to sounds or movement, so that's why they're putting down these like things to sort of trigger it to appear for him to then ride on. And again, I'm a little disappointed that they're not full on showing him on a worm. It almost just looks like he was riding a rock. And I know these worms are larger than life. They probably want to save that money shot for the second trailer or for the movie itself. But I was just like, it barely looks like you're on a worm, honey. I believe that's Javier Bardem. Excited to see you. Don't try to impress me. I'm assuming that's Zendaya's character's dad? Maybe? Interesting that Javier Bardem is becoming the dad of the movie universe. I'm surprised his eyes aren't blue. Like, has he not been eating the spice? Has he not been, like, allowed to? I don't know what the rules are. Again, I watched Dune and I was just like, that was really cool to look at, but I don't understand what was going on. I just know that there was a family, Oscar Isaac was there, he looked beautiful, and then he died, and then there was this other group, and then there was this group. I was just kind of confused, but it looked neat. I'm excited for the people who enjoyed it. I just was lost. I mean, I'm definitely gonna go see this because I think the spectacle of it, I remember seeing it on, I believe, an IMAX or a Dolby, and it was just impressive and really immersive. I just didn't understand. It's also really difficult to run on sand, so I don't know if that was actually Timothy. I'm assuming a lot of this is CG, but it looked really cool and impressive to see that guy run, so good on that person. Be simple, be direct. That's just good advice in general. See, like, you almost can't tell that that's the worm there. You can just see the movement, and that, like, last frame, like, that's, like, part of the scaling of the worm. And then it looks like he fucked up, but then he was able to get onto that. And again, the way the sand's blowing around, it almost just looks like he's on a rock. I'm assuming that's part of the worm. It's just so crusty and old because it's traversing through sands all the time. It's just sort of adapted to, like, look like rock. Nothing fancy. You might do something a little fancy. And, like, you can see a little bit of the shot here, but this isn't a money shot. It almost just looks like he's, like, water skiing on sand. That was a good throw. Would that work? There must be some, like, mechanic behind it, because if you throw something while you're also moving in the opposite direction, it's not really gonna go far. It'll probably lag behind you. So there must be something about it that's able to propel itself forward while it's, I don't know, it's complicated. And that looks kind of cool, but again, it's hard to tell. It's just like, oh yeah, you're standing on the rock. I'm surprised that we're seeing a bit more of, like, this kind of youthful aspect to Timothée Chalamet's character, because he went through such a traumatic arc in the first movie. He seems a lot more, like, a little gung-ho. I mean, he still has, like, the anger in him. He's like, I want to get revenge on the people that took away my father and split up my house and whatever. I believe Jason Momoa's character also died, and that was his brother. So I expected more anger, but he's just like, yeah, I'll do it. Why not? I'm not gonna be fancy. But I might. So I don't know. They're excited for him, and it's good to see that, but, like, we're not seeing him on the worm, which isn't as exciting. I mean, it looks cool. And he's like, oh my god, it's the chosen one. He has that chosen one sort of look in his eyes. I love the pattern. That's a little detail on his, like, shawl to help with the sand. That looks really nice. That's really pretty. This year. I love these. Oh, these are so cool. I remember watching, I think, Corridor doing a VFX react to these ships, and that was really fascinating, and I have a greater appreciation for them. I think it's just a great detail. Again, why is this black and white? Is this the past? What's happening? We have gladiator? We got, like, gladiatorial combat? That looks really CG. I'm hoping that they can, like, spruce up this shot a little bit later. I don't know why they're fighting. I don't know if you need to, like, fight to join the extremist society that Stellan Skarsgård is in charge of. I don't know. Again, I'm a little lost. And that was Pretty French Lady. I don't know who this is. This looks like royalty from the group that lives on the Dune planet. I don't remember what it's called. And then she's like, you'll never lose me. And I'm like, didn't you guys just meet? I don't really get your connection. Again, I know they shared a kiss through visions in the first movie. I don't really understand why he's getting those. I don't know if it's just, like, prophetic, chosen one mentality. And I don't think he's supposed to have those. Wasn't there something about, like, the women in the family are allowed to be magical, but it's weird for Paul to be? And he had to, like, go through, like, a therapy to be like, you shouldn't be experiencing those, suppress it, ignore it. But now I think he's allowed to just sort of have it. I don't know, maybe. For people who actually understand the premise of Dune, who've read the book, saw the 84 movie, just clue me in without, like, too many spoilers, if you can. That looks like Florence Pugh's character. She looks so cool with these little, not knives, and this framing. I don't know how comfortable it is. It's gonna be a terrible tan line, but it's cool looking. I don't think this is anyone we know, but obviously this is part of the society. Though it also looks like the armor that Atreides had? The Atreides family had, like Jason Momoa had, something like that. Though I think that's also something maybe the tribe that Zendaya and Javier Bardem are a part of have. I'm assuming she's a villain because of that sort of look. It looked like she was going to commit that sort of execution. I don't know if it's part of the same scene. They might have been stitched together to create more drama for the trailer, but it's cool. I really like this shot. This is really cool. You just don't see that. That like goes to show, like, how alien this planet is. Like, it just looks like the Sahara, but, like, we're on another freaking planet. And, like, just, like, that imagery looks so dope. It's kind of Star Wars-y, but, like, something about this that looks a little more romantic, which is cool. So it seems like they have some color, but, like, I don't know. This is a weird shot because I don't understand. He looks like he has a little color on the top of his head, but the rest of him is, like, black and white. I don't quite get it. I don't know what she's seeing. I'm assuming she's seeing more invaders. There's the worm. There's Rebecca Ferguson. I really like this headdress. I don't know what all the tattoos on her face mean. I'm assuming they're ritualistic. You give them something to hope for. That's not hope. Did they lie about something? Or is she like, no, what we were doing was fine? And then he's like, no, it wasn't. We were hurting these people. And she's just sort of still caught up in the propaganda of the old ways. But I thought he delivered that line quite well. This is a really cool shot. That's why I was a little confused earlier where there was that shot of that guy walking on that like really dark ground, like over here if you can see where my cursor is. I think this is Timothée Chalamet in that scene because of the way his like cape is like billowing and has like the sort of the same silhouette. I wonder, why is he the chosen one? Like, I'm surprised this society, like, he was part of the family that was hurting and mining your planet. But then you're like, nah, you're okay now. We saw your dad died, but that's fine. You're cool now. And it's like, why are you okay with it? I'm assuming it's because he has like these visions that connect him to Zendaya's character. And there's going to be hopefully more explanation of that. I'm excited to see this fight. The lighting here is very cool. Like, this looks, there's something about it that has an older look to it, an older fashion movie, but it's still like really cinematic and is really well directed and modern for now. Like, it blends sort of the ideas of like the 84 and older style of the Dune OG book and movie, and then blending it now with modernized technology, which I think is really cool. I think the lighting looks cool. He does the thing that I think his brother did, or if that's the society that he's a part of now. I think that was what his father used to say, may the knife chip and shatter. But they all have knives, so I don't know if that's something he's adopted from them. It's a lot of people cheering him on. Again, I don't really get why they're rallying behind him, but I'm glad that they're excited. I like on the logo, you can see there's a little sand coming off the U. I think that's cute. And then you can see the sun. I think the logo is really cool. And look at all these people. Look at so many people. Christopher Walken. Was he in the original? I can't remember. I think it's Léa Seydoux is the French girl from No Time to Die. I forget what else she was in. I think she was in MI4? Ghost Protocol, which I just watched recently. There was like this lady who wanted diamonds in MI4. I've been watching all of them so I can be prepared for 7, part 1. I have to watch 5 and 6 still. I believe she was in that, and I really like her. She's really cool. I think this looks quite good. November 3rd. I can't really recall off the top of my head, but I think November might be a crowded month. But I think because it's so early in the month, I think Dune will be able to stay competitive. I think the first movie, or the part 1, not the OG movie in the 80s or whenever, but I think the previous movie in this duology, I don't think there's a part 3. I don't think there should be. I think it was a lot to ask to give us a movie with a part 1 without any history. I know they're doing that now with MI7. They're doing a part 1 and a part 2 of Death Reckoning. And I feel like that's warranted because we had successful backstories in movies previously. But it seemed like a bold move to do that right out the gate. But again, I think Dune is quite an extensive book. And I feel like they wanted to take their time with developing the lore and doing it accurately, more appealing than the old movie did. So I see where they're coming from and wanting to do this like 2 different parts. But I think it's still a risky move. So I think the movie did okay. I don't believe it made $1 billion. I think it made like 600, 700? And I'm assuming these movies are expensive. So I hope that they were able to more than break even. I'm assuming the movie was like 150 million to make, and then I don't know if that includes marketing. So I'm assuming this one might even be bigger because Zendaya's on it longer, and we're getting Javier Bardem and other characters that you need to like Florence Pugh and Austin Butler. They cost a pretty penny too. So there's a lot like going into this movie. So I hope that this can do well and draw people in. Again, I watched the first movie, the one that came out in like 2019 or whatever. When did it come out? I can't even remember. But I watched it and I was impressed, but I didn't know what was going on. So I think I need to revisit it. And then I have enough to like want to go into the second, but I hope that they're able to make more money the second time around. Because I feel like it was a gamble the first time, but now that it's sort of stapled itself into like respect, I think it should do okay. But I don't know. What did you guys think? Did you guys read the book? How did you see the OG movie? Did you understand what was going on when you first watched part 1? Do you think I should do a reaction on my channel to part 1? Let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe for more content. Thank you for watching with me, and I'll see you in another video. Bye for now.